So thanks for joining us here today. We're at the Gathering of Eagles event here for Housing Wire, and I have the great opportunity to be able to host this podcast with Anthony and Gary, two friends of mine. One I've known a little longer than the other, but I can already see fast friends we're developing here. I'm Nathan Dart with Final Offer, and I'm excited just to be able to have a conversation with you guys because we are here at the Gathering of Eagles.
We don't know about what.
We don't know about what.
It's not planned.
It is not
Although
planned.
we do have some questions here
No, there's just
Pre-prepared.
questions, no answers. We're not going to help you with the answers, but we are here.
He always has all the answers.
I have the intel.
Is there a reason why I want anybody else on this podcast? So, yes, we are here. We're at the Gathering of Eagles Housing Wire event. You know, we're a bit of a transition in our industry right now, but we've got seasoned veterans on this podcast right now. So, if you wouldn't mind, Anthony.
I'm seasoned and he's a veteran.
Yes.
I like that. That's actually pretty good. I like
So
that.
then we'll hand off to the veteran. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Anthony, tell me about you. Tell me where you are.
Guy.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm Anthony Djon with Anthony Djon Luxury Real Estate. We're a pretty big team in Michigan. We're the number one team in Michigan in volume. We do a lot of business. We primarily do internet leads. So we specialize in internet leads. So we have lots of buyers, sellers, and we service them with white glove service.
I love it. I love it. Well, Michigan, you know, as we talked about, born in Michigan. So I got an affinity if you're from Michigan. There you go. Well, thank you, Anthony, for being here with us. I love the understanding more about your background and where you're getting your business from, the technology use. Gary, known for a while, he's the seasoned agent. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
The seasoned agent. I've known Gary for a long time. The number one agent, number one team in the entire U.S. world.
Number one Remax team in the world.
In the world. And that's a big deal, Gary.
Yeah.
That is a big deal.
It's a big
7
deal.
years in a row, I think.
That is a big deal. And
Yeah.
I've always had a tremendous amount of respect, not only for how Gary runs his team. He runs a very successful team and has consistently been doing so. But it's also his passion for trying to be as innovative, not trying, because he ultimately is, innovation, and bringing that into how he runs his business to attract more leads for his buyers, sellers that he serves, and for his agents. So Gary, please tell me about yourself, where you're from.
I'm originally from England. Hang on, I got my microphone all caught. I got 2 dogs with me here that you can't see that are under the table.
Beautiful dogs, by the way. Reggie and Stanley.
Yeah, originally from England. Moved to Nashville in 2000. Started my team 2001, and then kind of had a background in advertising and marketing, so I kind of applied that to when I started doing real estate. And you know, we had a motel in Florida prior to that.
You had a motel?
Yeah, me and my dad. And then it was the internet started in the mid-90s, so kind of got into that for the hotel. And then when we moved to Nashville, applied that because I got my license 2001, which was the same year I think as IDX came out. So it was like perfect timing for somebody that had no listings, no nothing. I all of a sudden started getting to working with the internet leads. I think what else came out that time? Google, pay-per-click. So it was kind of an early adopter in new tech, I would say.
Oh, very important, because as we know from being the seasoned veterans that we are, the ability to be good and or great in this industry will rely solely on our ability to be able to market. The inability of an agent to be able to market for not only new leads, but also reoccurring leads for our past clients referrals will make or break your business.
For sure.
You guys have excelled in the ability to generate new leads on a consistent basis and being innovative
In the biggest way.
in the biggest way. So talking about the biggest way, what is the biggest way to be able to generate leads in this marketplace?
By internet leads. And that's what we're doing. We're spending, our brand, I spend, over $300,000 a month on internet leads. We're fueling up our brand, our agents with, first class kind of clients, meaning that they actually want to move, right? That's first class to me, right? They want to move, and we're getting buyers, we're getting sellers, and our agents, they're doing just a really great job taking care of them. But, our number one thing is customer service, right? We want to move the customer in a very 5-star way. And that's what we're doing. We're having a lot of fun doing it.
Excellent. Internet leads, you said it. Yet 100% of all buyers and sellers shop one place to find a house. As we know, it is clearly what they're doing online. Gary, what would you say to that?
In terms of where we get our leads from?
Where we get leads from?
So for us, it's very similar. We've very similar business.
Actually, we're very similar.
I do sports marketing. Still do that?
No, we've actually changed that. We've got some other things to do.
So we're partnered with the Predators, which is the NHL team. So we have some sports marketing there. We do some stuff with the Nashville Soccer Club too. So we're also invested in, because I started in 2001, so I was one of the first ones to start doing SEO on our site. So that site has been around since 2003. So organically, it ranks really, really well. So we generate leads. They're online though, so we do that, and where we have a strong association with the portals. We both work with Zillow and both work with Realtor.com.
Excellent. And I think from what we all find and being the business that we're in, it's not, typically for us, it's not a lead problem. We know how to generate leads and consistently generate those leads. But for the average agent, it's not, they'd like to look at the leads as the problem, but it's not the leads, it's the conversion or the inability to be able to convert those leads on a...
It's the agent is the problem.
No, it's not the agent, but it is educating.
Well, I say that in a nice way, and I'll tell you why. Agents that follow up and do what they're supposed to do, they have amazing conversions. Agents that don't follow up and don't service the client, they have terrible conversions. So in ending, you want to have high conversions, means call your clients. Right?
Yeah.
You don't believe in that though.
No, obviously I do. But it's people will complain that the agents are lazy and don't do anything. But we all know that they're out there working hard in the field. And so what we try and do, and I think Anthony does the same, we try and create an environment where we're actually supporting the agents.
Yes.
Enabling them to learn from us, but also we don't give them leads, we try and give them opportunities. So we're actually, what's the word? We're scrubbing the leads as they come in. We're working them with their ISA department. So at some point, when that person says, I'd like to talk to an agent, my analogy is it's like if the lead is like the baton, I think I've said this before, like in a relay race, the lead comes in, that goes to our ISA department, and then the ISA department may run half a lap or a full lap, but they've got that baton, which is the client, and then they hand it off to the agent, which, like I said, could be a day, could be 2 months, could be 6 months, could be a year, and then they hand that off to the agent. But now it's a qualified lead where that person actually wants to talk to a real estate agent about looking at home or
such a refined way of just putting it.
And then once we go through the process, so then when they get to the point where they're closing, they've written the contract, then they hand off that to our contract to close. So that enables the agent then to go back and focus on the next incoming lead and next coming opportunity. So we're trying to take away a lot of the drudgery work that an agent would have to do, so that because they want to go out and do what they're best at, which is connecting with people, disseminating all their knowledge and intel about the market, everything that somebody would need to know about moving to a new area, and let them do that, and then we take care of everything behind the scenes, and then come to closing, and everybody comes back together.
Well, that transition, handing it over in the relay race is so critical, because it always is those hot transfers that, one, make the biggest difference when you're catching them right when they're ready to go do something. But we also know the average internet lead, for them to, when they start their search to when they actually buy, the time frame is typically anywhere between 11 and 14 months.
Right. Yeah.
Most agents would like to say, oh, those internet leads, they're no good. Well, half the time, those agents never even call them the first time, which is crazy. Loving the fact that you guys have a system in place so you can help these agents execute the conversion on a much higher level so that they can go focus on what they're really good at, is serving their clients. But one thing I'd have to say with that is, right now, there's no shortage of online leads. There's no shortage of companies that produce these online leads. Mm-hmm. So in theory, there's a lot of noise in the marketplace, right? Right now, we're in a bit of a transition in our industry. Mm-hmm. And with all the noise, a lot of that noise goes around to the idea that all agents are the same. And now
that's not fair.
That is not fair.
No.
The average agent last year, NAR came out with a stat that showed that In 2023, the average agent sold 1.8 houses last year, showing that 50% of the membership sold 1 or 0 houses in 2023. Now, with the seasoned veterans that we have on this panel right here,
They worked for us. They wouldn't have that problem.
that's exactly
Gary?
There's definitely more opportunities with us, and the same thing is like, to join the team. I think is it 60 hours to get your license.
Yes.
Well, as soon as they join our team, they still have to go through another, I forgot how many hours, it's 2.5 weeks of training and learning and essentially rising to our standards so that they can work within our organization.
Well, I love that because with the transition,
Same thing we do as well. Yeah.
it's so important. I would love you guys to talk on that because with all the noise that's in the marketplace, thinking everybody, all agents are the same. We're not. We've got to find a better way to differentiate ourselves in the marketplace from that of the average agents. So what is it that you do? How do you guys coach your agents to teach your agents to differentiate themselves from the average agents in the marketplace?
Well, for us, it's all about encouraging education, getting the RRC, and then what's the new, it's not new, it's going to be offered free by Realtor.com. Oh, what is it?
It's an accredited buyer.
ABR. That's
ABR.
it.
Yes,
my
ABR,
goodness,
of
yeah.
course.
I know everything.
So the fact that we're going, all our agents will have that by the end of the year because we're going to. It's free to do. So it's just supporting what our mandate is to have the intel stay invested and it's all about education and knowledge.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Anthony, how about you? How are you teaching and coaching your agents to differentiate themselves in the marketplace?
Well, this is a great question. So what we did at our brand is we created A to Z training video module for our company. So it trains the agent from ground zero all the way to because what we do is what's really unique is we have we mastermind once a week, right? And we videotape these masterminds and we cover so many different topics. So when a brand new agent comes, they get to watch not only the training that we have, but they can come right up to current. So it's like if they were there a month, it's like they were there 10 years, right? They get right up to snuff, and it just helps our agents become better, right? They have a lot of experience right from the get-go because they learn from people that have been in their situation or are about to be in this situation, and they win with that scenario. They really win.
I will say that the agent that comes in the team.
That's why my people have a high probability of making it, right? So if a takeaway is for those people watching, if you're a team leader or you're a broker, you really need to have a next level training platform for your agents. And if you're an agent on one of those teams that doesn't have that, hey, don't rely on that. Go on your own and either come to these conferences, go online, research it out. There's so many great coaching companies. By the way, I have a coaching company, but I won't say what it is, right? Because I'm not doing that. But I'll tell you this, there's so many great coaching companies that'll coach you to take you to that next level, right? Well, I think it's important.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that any new agent that joins the team, if they follow the systems and processes and don't fight that, just actually go along with it. So we have mentors and we have squad leads, but if they follow the process, I used to say that I can guarantee you can have a closing within, 6 months. But now it's pretty much 30 days are pretty much the agents are coming on. We have a bunch of opportunities that sometimes are missed. And so they can delve into those. Once they've met the standards that we can now say, almost like we can release you to the lead pool, opportunities are abundant. And then we've had people that just joined the team within, like I said, within a couple of weeks. $1 million deals under contract.
One of the finest organizations is this company. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. I've always been a big fan of yours, right? Because, we've known each other for years, and just watching all the different other brands and just watching what he does with his companies, it's just sensational.
So you have to remember, there's me, and there's obviously Deck Beagle, John, Scott, and so
But it starts at the top, right? But it starts at the top, though. You're the visionary. Are you not the visionary?
I take credit for being the visionary.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm called the visionaries because they want me out of the way. Like, go over there and do some visionary stuff.
Well, nothing can get done without the team. We can be visionaries, but we got to have people there to execute.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love the point that you guys are making about coaching and training your agents. See, the qualities of a great coach are going to be, number one, discovering the weaknesses of the people that you serve. Number two is going to come down to training, which you've addressed. And number three, which is the most important thing, which I know for the both of you guys that you do it, is holding those people accountable to doing what they say they're going to do.
Yeah.
Very, very critical in a time that the market has a lot of uncertainty. But I would say this, and just transition, because the time we've spent here so far, and with everything that's going on, one of the key words that we've been hearing a lot is transparency.
Yeah.
There is a lot of noise in our industry right now, a lot of noise that are really just distractions. And amongst all the noise and all the distractions, it's going to come down to transparency, because I believe transparency, that ultimately equals trust.
Yeah.
And so with the word transparency, what does transparency, Anthony, mean to you when it comes to real estate today?
Well, for me, for myself and for my clients, it's being transparent with how we negotiate for our clients. You know, what we're actually doing. I take great pride in this, by the way. I've trained all our people to be the same ways. When we take on a new client, we take our time in the beginning to explain the process to them. And once we explain the process to them, we get them involved in negotiations, meaning that, you know, there's a lot of times where we'll have our buyer in the same room as myself or the agent calling the listing agent, and they can hear what it is we're saying. That to me is transparency, where they can see, hey, this is what my agent is fighting for. This is what they're trying to do. Same thing when we're representing a seller. Hey, Mr. Seller, we're going to put you in a three-way, and we're going to call this agent. We're going to try to make this deal. And these are things that we do. We tell our seller, hey, don't talk, whatever you do, right? You're just in the background. But they see that, and they love that, because they see that, hey, they're very honest the way they do business. I see they're actually fighting for me. They're trying to get me the best deal. And that to me is the transparency piece that I like for my side.
Thank you, Anthony. Gary?
For me,
Yeah.
well, transparency has always been about making sure that both sides are aware of what's going on in the negotiations and the number of offers. So I think probably the most visually transparent way of selling a home is through an auction. So you can actually see people bidding, and you can see what they're bidding, and you can hear what they're bidding. The downside with that is that with an auction, you're buying as is. You don't get a chance to actually go through the home and do a home inspection, things like that. So with final offer, because we just started with final offer, that gives the buyers and the sellers the transparency to be able to see what's going on with the process. With if you've got one or two offers coming in, you can now see, do I really want to put another $5,000 onto this? Because so many times people will walk away from and find out that they lost a deal, and then you come back and you look at the closing and it's $500,000. I would have gone 5 if I'd have known. So we're kind of bringing that transparency that we've got through final offer into part of our listing presentation, but also working with our buyers so that they actually know what's going on throughout the transaction.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you bringing up final offers. Funny that you bring that up on this session here. With final offer, final offer is an offer negotiation platform.
Yep.
It allows buyers, sellers, and agents the ability to be able to negotiate the real estate transaction with complete transparency. As we recognize, a seller's number one concern in selling their house is they want to make sure they sell their house for as much money as possible. And as seasoned veterans as we are, we recognize the only way we can ever ensure that happens for a seller is to put them in a position where we can get competition around their property. Because it is with that competition with qualified buyers, you get them to compete. It ensures that we can demand the very best price and terms for a seller. But while that happens, we have to recognize there's still somebody else on the other side of that transaction. That's the buyer. Well, the number one pain point for a buyer is they don't want to ever feel as if they're in a position where they've overpaid for your house. Now, as Gary just mentioned, a buyer, they'll never feel as if they've overpaid if they know exactly what other offers that they themselves have to compete against. So final offer is also a tool for us as agents to use, rather than another tool to use us as agents, that helps create the very best situation possible so that everybody can win. The sellers can know that they're being represented the way they otherwise deserve to be represented, exposed to as many qualified buyers as possible, and the buyers, they have a fair chance in order to compete. But yet, as we roll final offer throughout North America right now, I find there is some friction in the industry where agents are not quite sure about what final offer is and have objections to what final offer is.
Well, anytime anything new comes out, like I'll tell you, when I got my license 2001, that's the year that IDX came out. I had a website, I had listings on my website, and I was getting a lot of pushback from the older agents at the time. It was like, how are you having my listings on your website? And I explained what the IDX was, and they were a little perplexed. But I said, what I'm doing is actually exposing more buyers to your client's property. Now, I'm going to bring the buyers in, so do you want me to take your listing off my site so your seller's not getting exposed to all these potential buyers? And they would always go, nah, keep bringing the buyers. But for a while, there was a little confusion there. But, after a while, that became adopted and people saw the value, became the norm.
That's right.
So that's what's going to happen in the final offer, I feel.
Yeah, anytime there's disruption, people cause a bit of panic. I was just think about it. Remember when DocuSign came out? People thought that was going to be DocuSign. It's just so...
So I always have, I like analogies, as you probably tell. So it's kind of like how to drive.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put you in a new car. So it's, the fundamentals of driving, but this new car has all these extra features that you're going to need somebody to explain what those features are. So it takes some time. So you have to spend some time and actually learn that. But once you get in the car and realize, oh, this actually puts the top down, this actually does this, then you've got all these features that make your driving experience enhanced. So you have to spend a little bit of time.
Yeah. Speaking of top down, do you still have that convertible Bentley?
No.
It's all gone?
No.
That's a beautiful car.
Why would I have a convertible Bentley?
I thought you had a convertible Bentley.
No. Well, so Anthony, because I know you're just newly introduced to what final offer is, and what final offer does is it pulls back the curtain, allowing people to truly be exposed. And some agents are afraid of being exposed. Other agents like us, we're not afraid of being exposed because we know what we can demand for our clients and not afraid to share what it is that we do.
No.
But there's other agents that are afraid to pull that curtain back and expose themselves. Why do you think that would be?
I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but I don't think any agent should be, afraid of being transparent with their clients, right? I'm a big advocate for that. So I'm excited to hear more about it. I mean, obviously, you guys, I think, are newer, right, in the industry.
Yeah, we launched in October.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way.
Thanks.
You're working really hard, and I'm excited to hear more about it. I'm always open to new things that benefit my clients, right? If it benefits them, it benefits me. If it doesn't benefit them, clearly can't benefit me, right? So I'm excited to hear about it. I really am.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. Now, what I'd like to do is before we sign off here today, there's a lot going on. And we are coaching our agents. We're here as advocates for our clients. Yeah. And so much you're thinking, well, where's this industry going to be in 1 year, 3 years, 10 years? Nobody can see that far ahead of us. Nobody has any idea what's going to happen.
It's still going to be here.
Yeah. Well, we know that, but what advice would you give to our viewers here, mostly agents in the industry, what have you? What should they be doing now, executing right now over the next 3 months to ensure the longevity that they have and a successful career in this industry? What would be your advice?
I would just go find the most successful team, the most forward-thinking team, the one that's actually adopting all of the new changes, making sure that they're ahead of the change, because you don't want to start making the changes after the changes come. You want to be with somebody that's progressive and forward thinking. So find a team that's just forward thinking.
Yeah, very important. Awesome.
I would say if you're an agent on a team or not on the team, I would get ahead of this, obviously. I'd get with your local boards, your local board of realtors, find out what they're saying, get as much intel as you can get, study it, and adjust your game plan to what the new standard will be. Show your worth to your consumers, right? To your buyers, on what kind of buyer's agent you are and your experience, work on your experience. And I can assure you of this, you're going to make it. You're going to make it just fine, and you might even grow. But if you're an agent that is not going to do these things, you should worry. But other than that, Hakuna Matata. It's going to be all good.
Excellent, guys. So before we sign off, real quick again, Anthony, please tell the viewers who you are, where are your offices, how can they find you if they're looking for you?
So I'm Anthony Djon with Anthony Djon Luxury Real Estate. You can find me on Instagram. My handle is my name, Anthony, and then my last name is D as in Delta, Jon. And you'll find me, add me, and I'd love to help you.
Very good. Thank you, Anthony. Gary.
So, Gary Ashton with the Ashton Real Estate Group of Remax Advantage in Nashville, Tennessee. And you can go to GaryAshton.com, or Instagram is Gary Ashton too. And LinkedIn is Gary Ashton. And what else have I got? Everything's Gary. Just Google me. You'll find me.
Yeah, it sounds like it's fairly easy to find.
Yeah.
I'm Nathan Dart with Final Offer. If you have any questions at all on how we can help be a resource for you and differentiate yourself from the other agents in the marketplace, let me know. You can reach me at nathan@finaloffer.com, or just go to finaloffer.com, where you can see an overview of what Final Offer is and how it can help benefit you and your clients. Thank you guys so very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.